Imagine if you saved just $10 every day and put it into the stock market. In 40 years, you'd have over $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's not as far-fetched as it seems. A lot of people think you need to make big money or get lucky to build wealth. But the reality is, many are actually getting richer without even noticing. You could be one of them. Let's break it down. We often picture wealth as something that happens out of nowhere, like hitting the jackpot, getting a huge promotion, or finding the next big investment. But in reality, wealth is usually built slowly, through small, everyday actions that add up over time. Sometimes you don't even realize it's happening. So in this video, I'm going to share 15 signs that you might actually be getting richer without realizing it. Number 1, you no longer feel pressured to prove your wealth. A big change happens when you stop worrying about showing off your money. People who are unsure about their finances often try to impress others, buying flashy things, posting about their expensive trips, or bragging about how successful they are. But when you reach a point where you don't need to prove anything anymore, and instead focus on gaining financial freedom, that's when you start thinking like someone who's truly wealthy. The richest people know that real success isn't about getting everyone to notice you. It's about being financially secure no matter what anyone else thinks. It's all about having peace of mind, knowing you've got your future set up, rather than chasing temporary approval from others. Number 2, you can handle emergencies without panic. Emergencies really show where you stand financially. Imagine your car breaks down, you get an unexpected medical bill, or something goes wrong with your house. If these situations don't make you panic about money, that's a good sign you're on solid ground. Having an emergency fund is like having a safety net. It means you can handle life's curveballs without scrambling for credit cards or loans. If you've managed to set this up, you're already ahead of the game and much closer to financial independence. It's not about being rich. It's about being ready for whatever comes your way. Number 3, you have multiple streams of income. Wealthy people don't just rely on one paycheck. They've got multiple ways to bring in money. If you're making extra cash through investments, a side hustle, rental properties, or anything that earns passively, you're already setting yourself up for financial security. Having different streams of income is like spreading out your eggs in more than one basket. If one basket falls, you've still got others to catch your money. Whether it's through stocks that pay dividends, running an online business, or owning a rental property, having a few different ways to earn gives you more stability and a better chance for long-term growth. It's about making sure your money is working for you from several angles. Number 4, you're more interested in financial freedom than retirement. For most people, the typical plan is to work hard for decades, save up for retirement, and hope to kick back and enjoy life once they hit 65. But wealthy people don't think like that. They don't just wait for retirement. They want financial freedom as soon as possible. If you're starting to focus on building wealth so you can choose when and how you work, instead of working because you have no choice, you're thinking like someone who's really got it figured out. Instead of just relying on traditional retirement plans, you might be looking at ways to create passive income, invest in things that grow in value, and build wealth that supports your lifestyle without being tied to a paycheck. Maybe you've started questioning why you should wait until you're older to feel financially secure. You're probably starting to see that it's more about having options now, not just sticking to the same old routine of working forever and hoping to relax one day. If your focus has shifted toward achieving financial independence sooner rather than later, you're already on the path to building real wealth. Number 5, you protect your time like you protect your money. Wealthy people don't just keep track of their money, they manage their time. They know that time is priceless, and once it's gone, you can't get it back. If you've started outsourcing tasks that aren't worth your time, cutting out distractions, and focusing on what really matters, you're starting to think like the wealthy. It's not just about having more money. It's about having more control over your life and how you spend your time. A lot of people think wealth shows up with a big change in lifestyle. But the truth is, it's built quietly in the background, through small, everyday habits. It's those little decisions you make each day that slowly add up and set you on the path to long-term success. Number 6, you focus more on assets than liabilities. Here's a simple way to think about what separates the rich from everyone else. Rich people buy things that make them money, like investments, property, or businesses. On the flip side, people who are struggling financially tend to buy things that just take money away. Stuff like expensive cars or designer clothes that lose value fast. If you're putting your money into things that appreciate over time, like real estate or investments, rather than splurging on things that just look good for a moment, you're setting yourself up for real financial success. Choosing to focus on building wealth instead of showing off is a clear sign you're on the right track. It's not about what you wear or drive, it's about what your money is doing for you. Number 7, your money is working for you. In the beginning, making money usually means putting in active work, whether that's through a regular job, a side hustle, or running a business. But real wealth starts when your money begins to work for you. If you're earning passive income from things like investments, rental properties, or dividends, you're on your way to financial freedom. It might look like your bank balance is growing without you having to put in extra hours at work, or your investments are starting to pay off without you lifting a finger. Essentially, if your money is making money while you sleep, you're quietly building wealth. It's a shift from working for money to letting your money work for you. Number 8, you no longer live paycheck to paycheck. Wealth isn't just about how much you're bringing in. It's about how much freedom you've got. If you're no longer stuck living paycheck to paycheck, that's a solid sign you're ahead of the game. Even if your income hasn't shot up dramatically, having enough saved to cover your expenses for a few months or even years gives you a nice cushion. This extra financial breathing room means you're able to make choices that are good for your future. Instead of just getting by from one month to the next, it's all about having the peace of mind to think ahead, not just react to what's happening right now. Number 9, you prioritize long-term investments over quick cash. People who build real wealth aren't chasing quick wins. They don't spend their time looking for fast money. Instead, they focus on things that grow slowly over time, like stocks, real estate, businesses, or retirement savings. They get that it's about being patient and sticking with it. If you've started putting more energy into building wealth for the long run, rather than just trying to make a quick buck, you're already thinking like someone who's set up for success. The ability to wait for long-term rewards instead of grabbing quick pleasures is one of the clearest signs you're on the right track to growing your wealth. It's like planting seeds today and watching them turn into something bigger down the road. Number 10, you've stopped upgrading your lifestyle with every pay raise. One of the biggest money traps is lifestyle inflation, basically spending more as you make more. It's easy to fall into the habit of upgrading your car, buying new clothes, or moving into a bigger house as soon as your paycheck goes up. But this just keeps you stuck in a cycle where you feel like you always need more money. If your income has gone up but your spending hasn't really changed, or even gotten more controlled, you're actually building wealth instead of just using it up. The wealthiest people don't show off their money by spending more as they earn more. Instead, they keep their expenses in check and let their income grow, slowly building up their financial foundation over time. It's like planting a tree and letting it grow, rather than chopping it down every time it gets taller. Number 11, you understand the power of compound growth. The richest people don't just save their money, they make it grow. If you're putting money into things like stocks, real estate, or retirement accounts and letting things like compound interest do its thing, you're using one of the most powerful ways to build wealth. You might start noticing that your investments are growing more than expected, even if you're not adding a ton of extra money. That's the beauty of compound growth. Small, steady investments today can snowball into something huge down the road. If you're thinking this way and letting your money work for you, you're already ahead of the game compared to most people. It's like planting a tree now and watching it grow into a giant over time without having to do much more. Number 12, you invest in yourself. One of the biggest signs you're building wealth without realizing it is when you focus on investing in your own knowledge and skills. Whether it's learning a new language, taking a course, or attending a workshop, you're making yourself more valuable in the long run. Wealthy people understand that their most important asset is themselves. The more you learn and improve, the more opportunities you'll have. If you're prioritizing your own growth, whether it's through education or new experiences, you're putting yourself in a better position to create long-term wealth. Think of it like upgrading your tool set so you can build bigger things. Number 13, you've learned to say no to unnecessary expenses. We all get bombarded with ads and social media influencers trying to sell us the next big thing, but wealthy people know how to say no to unnecessary expenses. Instead of buying things just because they're trendy or everyone else is doing it, they focus on what's really important. If you've become more selective with your spending and have started to question whether an expense is really worth it, you're already thinking like someone who's building wealth. Saying no to unnecessary costs gives you more freedom to say yes to the things that will actually help you grow your wealth, like investments or building assets that pay off over time. Number 14, you're comfortable with delayed gratification. Most people live for the moment, but the wealthy understand the value of waiting. Whether it's putting off buying something expensive today or holding off on vacations to focus on building your future, practicing delayed gratification is a clear sign of wealth building. If you've started choosing long-term gains over short-term pleasures, you're already making better decisions than most. Think about it like this. It's like planting a tree and taking care of it, knowing it will eventually give you shade and fruit down the road, rather than picking flowers that only last a few days. Delaying gratification might feel tough now, but it's how you set yourself up for bigger rewards in the future. Number 15, you've developed a strong financial mindset. Wealth isn't just about having money, it's about how you think about it. If you've stopped treating money like something to spend right away and started seeing it as a tool to build lasting security, you're already thinking differently than most people when it comes to finances. Successful people take the time to learn about investing, budgeting, and smart ways to build wealth. They don't just hope for a big break or wait for luck to strike. If you've started reading up on finance, following investment strategies, and making thoughtful decisions with your money, you're already on the path to building real wealth. It's like setting up a good foundation for a house. You're laying the groundwork for something solid down the road. Here's the key thing to remember. Getting rich doesn't feel like getting rich. You're not going to wake up one day and suddenly see millions in your bank account. Wealth usually builds slowly, almost quietly, through a series of small, smart choices. Take Ronald Reagan, for example. He worked as a janitor and a gas station attendant, but he ended up with an $8 million fortune. Not because of luck, but because he consistently invested and lived frugally. If you're doing things like saving, investing, and living below your means, you're already on the road to financial freedom. You might just not see it yet. So if you recognize any of these habits in yourself, that's a win. You're quietly building wealth, and over time it will start to show. Keep making those small, smart moves, and trust me, your future self will thank you. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these signs do you already see in your life? Drop a comment below, and if you want to learn more about building wealth effortlessly, check out my next video on 5 rules to make money from the book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. See you there.